There's a young trainee teacher in this country, I know this firsthand, who came to school and said to her senior teacher, I'm on top of the world this morning. And the senior teacher said, why? She said, Charlie Kirk's been shot. Why is someone being shot? A father, a husband, somebody loved by many, being shot a good thing? Well, he was against abortion. What have we come to? How did it get to this?
I mean, that question has a little bit of everything, so let's try to hit it.
Because you will have heard this sort of stuff.
Oh, I've heard that sort of emotional, almost inhuman reaction way too much. You know, you see it online, but I've heard personal stories similar to that as well. As you know, Charlie was a good friend of mine. We campaigned. In some sense, we campaigned. We toured together at colleges doing a lot of what he became really known for, debating college kids. That's what we did together. And you know a bit about my political evolution. I started on the left, obviously. And he was on the right. And we met one day at an event. And within 5 minutes of chatting, he said, Dave, let's go on tour together. You're on the left, I'm on the right. We disagree on a whole host of issues, but you seem like a good guy. And let's just try it. And we did that at dozens and dozens of colleges. You know, we'd have the protesters and the fire alarms pulled, and we'd get death threats and the host of things that can happen when you go to these events. And interestingly, when we were doing this, and this is around 2016, 17, 18, and then we did it a few times after, but that was the bulk of when we were doing it. You know, everybody kept saying to us the same thing. Oh, it's you guys, it's the easiest thing. You're going to college campuses, and these kids, when they get out of school, the real world, they'll get hit with the real world, and that'll show them what's up. And, you know, and what we found out was that the real world folded like a wet paper bag, that they actually, all of the bad ideas that were, you know, manifesting and that they were ingesting in these college campuses, actually, they took them into the real world. They took over our institutions. They took over, I would say, one of our political parties almost completely. And now we're seeing the results of that. So when I hear a story like you just said, that someone would revel, first off, reveling in the death of another human being is almost as cosmically evil as it could possibly be, especially someone you don't know who'd ever harmed you personally, you know, something like that. And then to connect it to abortion. So let's not do a whole conversation about abortion here, but that you would put that so high in your importance that you would be happy that someone died because they have a different position on abortion is sort of patently absurd. But it also goes to show the complete misunderstanding of a young generation relative to what Charlie really was for. So yes, was Charlie pro-life? Of course he was. But Charlie was the best of us in that everyone says you should talk to people on the other side, but nobody does it. Almost nobody does it. You try to do it. I try to do it, but I put the word try in there because it's getting increasingly difficult to find people to talk to. Charlie would go to the belly of the beast every day. This was a guy who had all the means in the world. He had plenty of money. He had plenty of opportunity. He had an unbelievably bright political future if he wanted it. He didn't have to go to college campuses and debate with these kids, but he did. He did what we think, what we should do, try to change minds through conversation. So to see the reaction to his death, on top of the fact, as you pointed out, I mean, this was a young father. There are two young girls who no longer have a father. There is a young woman who doesn't have a husband. The way he affected literally millions of young people, I don't think people realized it. That's the really interesting part. Even me, as someone that's in this world with him and that toured with him, and I'm in the online space with him and all of those things, I don't even think I realized how influential he was. So we have a lot of work to do right now. And I feel it's incumbent on me and everybody else that is a player in this game to be a little bit better right now for him.